This is Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review with your NCAA Tournament Play of the Day in college basketball for Thursday, March 23rd. The Sweet 16 has arrived. We went 3-1 with our NCAA Tournament Play of the Day recommendations in the opening weekend of the tournament. We cashed 3 of the 4. We had Bucknell, they won. We had Michigan, Oklahoma State over the total on Friday. That cashed in. We lost with Notre Dame against West Virginia on Saturday, but boy, we bounced back strong with Michigan taking down Louisville on Sunday. So 3-1 with those results. And like I say, bouncing back in this sports betting industry is key. Whether you're a bettor, a handicapper, you always have to have that mentality. You have a bad bet, you have a bad day, you got to try to bounce back. You got to be like Big Sean, the hip-hop artist. Last night took a L, but tonight I'll bounce back. I got angry clients, so I've got to bounce back. They may not subscribe again if I don't bounce back. You know, you got to have that kind of mentality going for you. You don't want losing streaks to permeate and keep going. If you have a bad day, you've got to forget about it, put it behind you, move on, keep working, keep grinding, keep plugging, do what works, what has worked in the past for you, and you're going to probably have a good chance to get back on track. That's always key. Whether you're a bettor, whether you're doing this as a handicapper, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, just keep working. Don't let the losing streaks bother you, because when they start to bother you, that's when it affects your work, and you can't let that happen. So good result in the last weekend, 3-1 with the NCAA tournament plays. We'll see if we can keep them going here. Let's go with Purdue and Kansas for our play of the day on Thursday's Sweet 16 slate. We have Kansas as a 5-point favorite in this game, total of 156.5. And right away, I have to point out this game where it's being played, Sprint Center, Kansas City, Missouri, close to a home game for Kansas. It's going to be coated with rock chalk Jayhawk blue everywhere in that building on Thursday night. So it's going to be a very, very difficult atmosphere for Purdue to go in there and try to get a victory. But I'll be honest. I mean, Kansas, I was hoping to lay 4 or lower than that with Kansas. Laying 5 is a little bit tricky because I'm not totally willing to dismiss Purdue entirely. I mean, Purdue has looked good at times in this tournament, really good at times in this tournament. When they took over against Vermont, they didn't look back. You know, that great first half they had against Iowa State, the fact they almost blew a 19-point lead against Iowa State concerns me a little bit. But there's no doubt you can't undersell this Purdue team, and they're going to have an edge in the front court. I mean, Biggie Swanigan, Caleb Swanigan, Isaac Haas, it's a better front court than what Kansas has. I mean, Kansas really has Landon Lucas. They got some decent minutes out of Colby in the last game, Kansas, when Landon Lucas got in foul trouble against Michigan State. But other than that, I mean, it's not a very deep, not a very overly skilled and strong Kansas front court. And we'll see if Landon Lucas is able to have a big game. And he's going to have to deal with Haas and Swanigan in a good fashion. I mean, Landon Lucas has to play tough, has to play physical, has to stay out of foul trouble against Purdue. You know, he can't take the court. Looking at Caleb Swanigan, he can't take the court and be timid. You know, he can't go on the court in this game and start thinking to himself, Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your big frame, it frightens me. I mean, he's got to be tough. He's got to, you know, he's got to go mano a mano with Swanigan for as well as Swanigan is playing. He's got to be able to get the job done in that regard and just do the best he can. I mean, it's not easy. Swanigan is great around the rim. He can step out, make a jump shot if he has to. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. But if you're Landon Lucas, you've absolutely got to be able to be tough and stay out of foul trouble. The big edge Kansas has in this game, other than the fact they're close to home and will have a major home court advantage, it's the fact that their backcourt is phenomenal. Frank Mason has just been terrific. Great leader for this team. Devontae Graham, to see him get his shot going against Michigan State, he was tremendous shooting the basketball, especially from the perimeter. That's going to be tough for Purdue. Purdue's three-point defense got accolades most of the season, and their overall numbers against the three are still decent, but now it's up to 32.4% shooting for the season from three-point range they've allowed Purdue, but they allowed Vermont some open looks from 3. They allowed Iowa State to get some three-point shots against them. That's a concern here going against Kansas, the way they got the 3-ball rolling in that win against Michigan State on Sunday. I think you're going to have offensive advantages for both of these teams here, Purdue and Kansas. I think Purdue's going to be able to get inside easy buckets against Kansas. And I think Kansas is going to be able to shoot well against Purdue because Purdue has struggled a little bit defensively against Vermont and against Iowa State. And I think Kansas, you look at them offensively, they've been phenomenal. 100 points, hung a 100 spot, hit the century mark against UC Davis, 90 points against Michigan State. Collectively from the field, just tremendous. They were 70 of 128 from the field in those two games, Kansas against UC Davis and Michigan State. Purdue's going to be in tough defensively, but I also think Purdue offensively is going to make things happen. And Vince Edwards, he's the X factor. He's got to have a big game. You know, obviously, I don't think he's as good in the backcourt as some of what Kansas can throw at you, but he's going to have to play well. He's certainly capable of doing that. So, offensive advantages for both teams. Like I said, from a side perspective, I lean to Kansas, but I was hoping to lay less than -5. We're going to go with the total in this game. I think it's a high total, especially for Purdue, but you look at Purdue's results recently, they've been an over machine. I mean, Purdue is 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games. The over is 8-0 in Purdue's last 8 neutral site games, and even Kansas has trended over. Kansas has gone over the total in 4 straight games, including each of their first 2 NCAA tournament games. I think we have offense from both teams. It's a high number, not a bargain by any stretch, but I think we get an over in this game. And don't forget, this could be a close game late. You've got a 75% free throw shooting team in Purdue. Kansas can hit their free throws. You know, Jackson and Lucas are the 2 guys you worry about. They're not great from the free throw line, but Mason and Graham can certainly drain free throws, help this game get over the total late if it's close. I think we get over the total. I think it's a high-scoring game. Let's make it official. Let's go over the total. Purdue, Kansas, over 156.5. Rotation number 812. The Boilermakers and Jayhawks, I expect an offensive display and a fireworks shootout between these two teams on Thursday night in Sweet 16 action. Purdue, Kansas, let's go over 156.5. That is your play of the day in the NCAA tournament in Sweet 16 action for Thursday, March 23rd. All right, that'll wrap it up. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Make sure you're checking out sportsbookreview.com and visit uwager.eu. It's a great sportsbook. It's sponsoring us here at Sportsbook Review. Open an account. It's a great sportsbook. This, you know, if you want to keep seeing this quality video content, which is all free on a daily basis, my play of the day videos, Big Man and Donnie with their Right Side on Campus shows, Late Night on Campus, whatever else they're doing. I think they're going to start a Good Morning Campus show pretty soon. I'd be shocked if they don't. You've got the Odds Couple, great content. Paulie and Teddy with Sportsbit, phenomenal show. They do a great job with that. If you want to keep seeing this great video content, support uwager.eu. Check out sportsbookreview.com on a daily basis. Sign up with a sportsbook account. It's important. We want to keep delivering these great sports betting related shows and content for you. And the way we can do that is if you support us and support our sponsors. So let's all pull the rope in the same direction so that we can keep giving you this great content on a daily basis at Sportsbook Review videos. All right, that'll wrap it up. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, don't miss out on the best basketball betting content available on YouTube. Click our logo button on the bottom left to subscribe. And as always, guys, give us a like and drop your comments below because we want to hear from you. Visit our website to take advantage of all our free products.